You're listening to the Shoot Your Shot podcast. I'm Megan, a wedding photographer and videographer based in Connecticut, and I am talking all about emulating your business branding, really bringing yourself into your business today. Last week, Jen and I both caught pretty bad colds, and so we were separate, and she did a solo episode, and now I'm doing a solo episode, and hopefully we'll be together for the next one. But yeah, just recently, this is something that's been on my mind, is just incorporating everything that you are and everything that you do into your business. I feel like when people say business branding, all they really comes to mind is the colors and the font and like what your logo is, but your branding is so much more than that and impacts everything about your business. It's just who you are as your business. I like to think of business branding and just the word branding as like personality. My business branding is my business personality. And so just, I don't know, framing your mind that way makes it an easier pill to swallow and easier to understand, and makes it not so much of like this, I don't know what it is, kind of like cloud terminology, like, you know, I don't know what that means. So yeah, just, I don't know, I feel like the personality of your business needs to shine through in everything that you do. And so I just came home I'm on my way. I'm on my way home. I just finished a session. I'm literally just pulling out of the driveway of where we just were and headed down to the road. But yeah, this session is just beautiful, and it just fits my personality and just fits my business branding, and that's what I want to talk about. So yesterday I also had a session, and it was in Hoboken, New Jersey, which is gorgeous. It was so cool. It was on the water, and so like the water was beautiful, but for me, like, I'm not a city person, and I don't know what it is, but I'm a more mountainy, you know, open field nature kind of girl. I don't really love to be in the city, and so I don't really know how to describe it, but that's just not my thing. And so for me and my branding, all of my work is more earthy. My logo has like a little North Star. It's also kind of a compass. So if you look at it one way, you can kind of see a star, and if you look at it another way, it might look like a sun. It could look like a star. It could, I don't know, be a lot of different things. But for me, it means guidance. It means compass. It means North Star, guide point. But it also means the sun for me, because I love golden hour and I love warmth, and I strive for my photos to be true to color, yet warm, yet a little glow, a little sparkle in there. I want it to be ethereal, but also as it was. And so I try to edit my photos the way I remember it being and the way that I remember seeing things, and I always strive to do sunset shoots so that I can bring that warmth into my photos and just be in a gorgeous place and feel like you're in heaven, and I want my photos to feel that way. And so that's what my logo is. It's my name and with a little compass, star, or sun on top. And so in my website and all the terminology I use words like guide. I'll be a gentle guide. I'll, be your compass point through the photos, because I want my photos to feel natural. I want them to feel fun and not like a chore, and not like something that you have to do, and not something that has to be perfect either. I want it to feel normal. I want it to be like you guys just on a date, and I'll guide you through the process. I'll suggest some ideas, make you stand in a kind of way or walk in a certain direction. But from there, like, you are your photos, and I'm not going to be super anal about the specific way that you're standing or the specific way that you're looking. I try to be more general and be like, stand in this general area and however you're comfortable, and then I can kind of jump in a little bit if people get stumped, and I'm like, oh, you know what, it'll be really pretty if your hand's in your pocket, or like, I'll get a little bit more specific. But I just want to be a guidepost and not be so, helicopter parent about it, if that makes sense. And that's me, I'm not a very pushy person. I'm a very go with the flow, people pleaser kind of person, and I want my photography experience to be that way, and I want my business personality to be that way. And so I want my photos on my Instagram to all feel effortless, to all feel like a walk in the park, to all feel normal and not super fancy, and not, like a magazine, but I still want to have that magazine kind of quality of my photos and to take your breath away. But that's what life is all about. Like, life to me takes my breath away. Like, every session that I have going to a gorgeous place takes my breath away. I was just leaving a vineyard, beautiful sunset, mountainy backdrop, gorgeous golden light coming through this tall wheat grass, and just took my breath away. And that was just life. And, you know, I want my photos to be able to show people that life is beautiful, and life isn't always perfect, but it's beautifully unperfect in the best way, and that you are a normal person and you are beautiful, and let me show it to you. And that's what I want my business branding and my business personality to make people feel like. I want them to feel warm and cozy, and like taking the photos doesn't have to be a big deal. And so that's why city sessions aren't my favorite. I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't really know. I just feel like there's city people and there's woodsy people. And when I think of a city engagement session, I think of like a gorgeous like ball gown, high heels, jacket and tie. I think like city hall, like fancy. And when I think open field session, I think barefoot in the grass. I think run around, let your hair down, frolic, roll down the hill. That's how I feel. And that's what I would want my photos to feel like if I were to get my engagement pictures done. And so all of this to say that your business branding, you need to really niche it down. And so when you're posting your photos on your Instagram, on your Facebook, when you're showing the world what your business is, because that's what your branding's all about, it's showing the world who you are and what your business is, and getting the clients that you want to get, you'll get by posting the work that they want. And so if I were to go tomorrow and post the session of Hoboken, New Jersey with all the buildings in the background, then that would attract more of those clients, even though I don't want to do more of those sessions. And that just makes my business branding confusing, because it's showing the world, hey, Megan just shot in Hoboken and you should too. And then that'll get other people reaching out for me to do New York City sessions and Long Island sessions and things like that, even though that's not what I want to be shooting, and that's not what I want my business to be about. Not to say I didn't have a great time yesterday, because I absolutely did. And would I go back if someone asked me to? Yeah, sure. But I don't want 100% of my sessions to be in the city. So I hope that makes sense. But that's just what I've been thinking about a lot, just especially because of these two sessions back to back. It's just been on my mind that, you know, it just kind of happened this way, that they wanted their session to be in the city because that's where they met, and it was a very sentimental reason and choice for it. And their wedding is going to be local to me. There's farm animals, it's like patio, it's outside, it's food truck, it's, you know, it is my vibe. Just their engagement session where they met happened to be in the city, and so that's where it took us, that's where life led us, which is fine. But yeah, so I'm probably not going to post their city session, or I might, because there were a lot that we did like in a cute little park that don't have a ton of the city in there, so it doesn't really look like we're walking on the city streets. So maybe some of those I might, because it fits my business branding a little bit better. But yeah, if you reframe your mind about your branding and have it so that you are always portraying your business how you want it to be portrayed, it'll just happen. Like your photography style, if you're starting your photography business and you're trying to figure out your editing style and whatnot, you need to not stress so hard and let it happen. You need to just like let it be you. And that's what your business needs. Your business needs to be you, and it needs to feel right, and it will be easy if you let it be easy. If you think too hard about it, it will be a little hard. But of course, it depends on what business you're in. For me, my work and my photography is very personal, and it is me. And so it just does come easy because I want people to know that, hey, I'm me, this is me. So if you're like a larger company, like maybe this doesn't make sense. But if you're a photographer, videographer, if you're a candle maker and it's just you, if you're, I don't know, in an area where you are your business 100%, then try that. Try to share more about yourself. Share more on your stories about your personal life. Share more about why you love your business. Post on your stories today and just be like, I love this business and this is why. And just let the world know it. And all of that will come together. All of the colors that you choose for your website, really look at your work. If you're a photographer, look at your work and all of the colors you typically shoot. So for me, I'm often in an open field at sunset. And so a lot of my colors are browns, are greens, dark greens, are like yellows from the sun. Those are the kind of colors that show in my work because I'm a more warm and earthy photographer, because those are the locations I typically shoot at. But if you're a city photographer, if you're always at the beach, if you're in a different area typically, then maybe like blue is more of your color scheme. And when people see you posting on your Instagram, you want somebody to look at your photos that you're posting and know right away, oh, those are probably Meghan's photos, before they even look at the Instagram handle. And you want that on your website too. Like if you were to open up my website, regardless if you saw the name and logo, I think you would know that it's mine, because you'd be able to see, oh, that looks like Meghan's editing. This looks like Meghan's style. This just feels like Meghan. And that's what your business branding is, because it just needs to feel right.
Are you looking to up your client experience? HoneyBook is a leading client management tool for accepting inquiries, sending invoice and contracts, and keeping all your emails in an easy and safe space. Check out their amazing tools like the expense tracker, batch email sender, and email templates to get messages to clients with ease. Make your business run faster and more efficiently with HoneyBook. Use the link in the description for 25% off your first year. That's a 1-week free trial and 25% off your first year of HoneyBook with the link below.
Are you a HoneyBook user looking for the perfect photo gallery service? Enjoy this special offer from HoneyBook with 3 free months of PickTime, valid for new PickTime subscribers when choosing any yearly plan. Deliver your client galleries with ease, including an automated built-in store, marketing tools, blog builder, and more. Earn 3 free months of PickTime when subscribing to a yearly plan with the code below.
Another big thing about your business branding is the experience. The experience start to finish of working with your clients needs to have that branding and have that business personality from start to end. So for me, since I want my work to feel casual, since I want it to be, easy, I want to be the lowest maintenance vendor that they can have. That's my goal, is to be the easiest vendor that a client can have. And so putting that into my business experience and my client experience, this is what I do. They reach out to me. I write back and I say, hey, that sounds great. Here's a little bit about more working with me. Let's set up a phone call. And we figure everything out on the call. We got on the call and I asked them all the questions that I need to ask them. I don't have a questionnaire. I know a lot of photographers like to have a questionnaire, and I know that is really beneficial for a lot of people. And if you don't do a phone call, then that's, easy, because then you can still learn everything from them that you need to learn without getting on the phone. But for me, I prefer to meet people. I like to be connected. And then, excuse me, my nose. And then all of those questions that I would ask them on a questionnaire, I just ask them face to face. I get to know them more personal that way. And then they don't have to spend all this time filling something out, which feels like a chore. And for me, I want to be the easiest experience. I want to be the lowest maintenance, most casual vendor that they have. And I want to be the least amount of work for them. And I feel like a questionnaire is helpful, but it's a lot of work. And for me, if I were a client, I probably would also have to fill that out for the venue, and also have to fill that out for a wedding planner, probably also fill it out for, several other vendors already by the time of reaching out to your photographer. And so that's why I'm anti-questionnaire, because I also feel like because I do the phone call, I can just ask them then and still, hear what I need to hear. But yeah, anyway, I just want things to be the easiest process for them as possible. And so when I get on the phone, I ask them some of those questions. I'm like, hey, tell me a little bit more about you guys. How'd you meet? Tell me, like, what was the proposal story? Like, I hear about them a little bit and their love story and what, you know, values are important to them, what their wedding day might feel like. And then we get into the nitty-gritty. I just ask them and figure it out for them, their timeline. I ask them, what time is your ceremony? Are you interested in doing a first look or being surprised down the aisle? And from there, I can figure out the rest of their entire day for them. Those are the only 2 questions I need to know, and I can create their timeline based just off of those 2 facts. We work together backwards and forwards. I walk them through it. I say, okay, if your ceremony time is this, and you're doing a first look, then I would say that your first look is this time, family photos are this time, you put your dress on at this time, the guys are done at this time, and I arrive at this time. And then we go through the end of the day. I say, okay, if your ceremony's this time, then your cocktail hour, dinner, first dance is probably all this. And do you like the dance floor? Do you want me there till the end? Are you doing an exit or something? Or do you think an hour and a half is enough? They tell me yes or no, which they prefer. And that's it. It's so easy. I try to just do it all for them. And before they've even booked with me, I've been able to provide. And so that's also super helpful for them. And I want to be that guidance for them. I want to gently guide them through their wedding day. If they need it or if they don't, then that's cool. You know, they can take my timeline and throw it out the window if they really want to. They can do whatever they want. But I want to be that friend, that pal, that person that can just capture the day as if I was, you know, the uncle with the camera at the family picnic. Like, I want it to feel like I'm part of it, and it's such a personal job because I'm with them all day and for so long and in such intimate moments with them that I want them to feel really comfortable with me. And for me, I need to do that on the phone. You know, I need to meet them. I need to do the engagement session to really become part of it and to really understand them better and know who they are. And the questionnaire is helpful, but it doesn't give me tone of voice. It doesn't give me, you know, the look that they have at each other when I see them on Google Meet, you know, how they look at each other and if they're holding hands or if they're, you know, his arm is around her shoulder or, you know, like those kinds of things are the things that I want to know and things that I remember. And it helps me be prepared for what's to come and to understand them. And it also shows them a little bit more about me. You know, it is low-key an interview, and I want to wow them. And I also want them to say, wow, she already did a lot for us. That was really easy. Meeting her was not a big deal. I didn't have to do anything. And, you know, I want them to feel safe and secure and feel like, wow, okay, that's not so bad. That's my goal throughout the entire process. And so that's what I want their consultation to feel like. That's what I want their engagement session to feel like. And that's what I want the wedding day to feel like. I want them to feel like, wow, okay, this is easy. That wasn't a photo shoot. That wasn't so bad. That was just part of the day. And so that is me, and that's my branding. That's my business personality. And it's as much as you can say those things out loud, because you can know it in your gut. You can know it in your heart. You can know what your business is all about. But you're getting new followers all the time. You're getting new brides reaching out all the time. And so if I were to only say that publicly on Instagram once or twice a year, that's not enough. Because people are getting engaged all the time and following you all the time. And somebody might not see your first post, but will see your second post. Or somebody might see your first one and not remember. And it'll affirm it for them in the second time they see it. I mean, Jenna has said this on the podcast multiple times, but you need to see something 7 times for it to sink in. So if somebody sees me post about my business branding, just, you know, I'm not to say like, post on your story and then just say, here's my business branding. Like, don't say those exact words, but make it feel effortless and just sit down and write an Instagram post on your story or a regular post or a Facebook post or whatever. Sit down and make a TikTok video of you talking and just say, this is why I love my business. Or just start by sharing a story. Just say, I had the most engaging or amazing event and let me tell you about it. And just share. Just share. And that is you, and that is your branding. And if you tell people why you love something and why it works for your business and why it felt good and you know, all of these things, then that will attract the people that are also looking for those things. You know, if I go home tonight or tomorrow and on my stories I'm like, I just had the best session ever, guess where I was? A vineyard. The girl took her shoes off. She wore a cute flowy white sundress. They had a picnic. They had cheese and crackers. They drank wine and ate salami. Like, they brought their dog. If I just describe that, the guy wore jeans. If I describe that, and I don't say, this is my dream client, but not in those exact words, but I say why I love something, then the people that want that same style, that appreciate those same things, that naturally are those same kind of people, they will hear me talk about how much I love what they love and say, this business is meant for me. This business branding, you know, is what I'm looking for. And then it's easy. If you just post what you love and share what you love and tell people why, then they will see it. Those kinds of people will see it. It'll just happen. That's what the algorithm is for. That's what, you know, that's how word of mouth works. If somebody who also loves a vineyard and is getting engaged and hears me talking about how much I love my vineyard engagement session, they're gonna say, oh my gosh, that was so great. My friend just got engaged, just got proposed to at a vineyard. Let me send this photographer to her because she loves it just as much as I know my friend does. And that's just how it works. And so anyway, long story short, I think your business personality is really important and doesn't have to be that complicated. And if you just kind of understand that and you just kind of let it go, let the hardships go, sort of, and don't think so hard about your business branding. Don't force something on your business. Just kind of let it happen. Like, your business name will come to you. It just needs time too. You need to be in your business a little bit for those things to fully just evolve and take effect. It can't just happen overnight, you know. It will come to you, but it is something that does require a little bit of thought, but also just will just happen naturally if you allow it to. And also, that's where a branding expert could come in. Like, I worked with a branding expert who did my logo for me, did my website for me and everything, and she had a really long questionnaire about, and we talked on the phone a few, and she's a friend of mine now through working together, and I'll put all of her information in the description, but her questionnaire was just to get to know me and to get to know my work. And she like deep dove into my Instagram, deep dove into everything that I had available publicly for her to really understand who I am and what my work's about. And when she created the proposal for me for my logo and for, you know, the tagline for my business, capturing golden moments in every frame, she created that based off of what she saw and what she felt from my business. And so sometimes a professional can be really, really helpful and be able to tell you what they see. Like, if you're not able to put your business into words, if you're struggling with that, you can ask somebody for help. You know, you don't have to determine your business branding, you know, on your own. But somebody can look at what you show the world, what you let loose, what your business personality naturally is, and put it into words and visuals for you. And that's how my logo came to be, actually. She began with my logo, instead of a star or instead of a sun or instead of a compass, it actually began as wheat, because I told her that I really loved doing sessions in wheat fields, in like tall grass kind of fields. And so my logo actually began as representing that, as representing like earthy and grass and wheat and woods, nature. And the more that we looked at it, and then she kind of started to present it a different way because we went through a couple of drafts and talked and all of these things. Eventually, it kind of just transformed into a compass, and we talked more about how I feel like I want to guide my couples and be like a gentle guiding hand and just a guide point. I don't know. And so it transformed from a compass into sort of also the North Star. But also, if you look at it at a quick glance, it looks like it could be the sun, which is fitting also because golden moments in every frame, everything fits well. And that's on a professional, because I wouldn't have thought about all of that on my own. You know, she helped me get there. So having a buddy that can take a look at what you have and tell you in words from an outside perspective is really helpful. But, you know, she didn't create my business personality for me. She just made the branding into words and picked fonts that fit and picked colors that fit based off of what I already showed the world. So anyway, that's my spiel. That's what's been on my mind, is that post what you love and your clients will come to you, and post what you love and your branding will come to you. All of the elements that, you know, are a little tougher, like your fonts and your colors, your logo, it will come to you. And if you need help is available, but that it doesn't have to be so hard. That it will come to you if you just let yourself be who you are, and if you let your business do its thing. So that's my 2 cents today, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next episode. And I hope you have an amazing, amazing busy season if you're in the wedding industry. And Jen and I will be together again very, very soon. So cheers!